Hello humans, I hope you are alright. Today I want to talk about stories. Humans live for stories, orbitate around stories, hooked, like moths to a lamp. You are all desperate to tell your stories, and also to hear new stories. As children, you show interest in stories very early, and you keep this interest, not because of a fond childhood memory, but because stories are essential for your survival in society. Why? Maybe as a reaction to the randomness and uncertainties of human life. Which randomness and uncertainties, you ask? What about the fact your life can end at any second? You could have died now, or maybe now, also now, or even now. You know that you could have had a heart attack, a fatal stroke, or, if you are walking around the street right now, paying attention to me, well, you could have been shot, hit by a car, or had a fatal fall. I know you do not think about this all the time, and, if you do, your software, I mean mind, psyche, has a fatal error and you probably need to see a doctor. No machine, nor life form, can work properly if it is constantly processing information that is useless, like worrying and generating anxiety. If you do this, you will have a panic and shut down completely. It is a fact that you can die at any second, but in order to live your life, you must acknowledge this fact rationally and detach from it emotionally. Most of you do this very well. How? Believing in stories. You actually start your life believing in stories, and if you became a functional adult, you probably dismissed some of them, but also kept some. Because, even as an adult, none of you can handle huge doses of uncertainties, and stories can ease this affliction, mainly because they have a beginning, a middle, and an end. When you believe in a story, you are no longer in this unstable and eternal middle you call life. But it is not any story that works. You need stories that everyone else around you believes too. Stories that evoke emotional responses and are shared by groups, cultures, and societies, connect you all, offering a sense of belonging. I find this really funny. Just like most things related to human experience, this dependency you have of stories is very contradictory. You need to believe in collective fictions to soothe your emotions and stabilize your brain, so this brain can keep functioning rationally. Behold Homo sapiens sapiens. I like you guys. You are really weird. You all consider animals to have an inferior cognition, but when your dog is looking at the horizon, he is looking at the horizon. They are all born with the so-called mindfulness of Buddha. No, wait, I guess it was Buddha who reached the mindfulness of an animal. But anyway, animals live their lives moment by moment, not worrying about the past nor the future. But you, on the other hand, if by any chance or in a moment of your life in which you are not believing in any stories, might be sitting beside your dog, looking at the horizon, and having an anxiety attack, scared with the fact that you are intelligent enough to know that life has no specific meaning or purpose, but not intelligent enough to dismiss this useless thought and enjoy the horizon view and your dog's company. It is very interesting to notice that the sophistication of your cognition can cause damage to itself, like an anxiety attack. As I said, believing in some stories is beneficial to keep anxiety away. Fiction can calm down your daily afflictions and create a healthy environment for your mind. So, it seems that the more you humans learn about things and improve your thinking abilities, the more you get depressed, anxious, and unmotivated. Have you noticed this? The most brilliant philosophers, the most renowned scientists, amazing writers, super talented musicians, they were, and still are, all a bit gloomy, sad, grumpy. I have a hunch that the reason for it is that knowledge leads to the dismantlement of any story. And, as I stated before, humans do need stories. If you manage to go through life curious and open enough to pay attention to all human knowledge that came to you via school, books, movies, conversations, observations, and became an individual that forms an opinion only after analyzing situations and ideas from different perspectives that are not purely based on emotional reactions. You might have matched the brilliant minds of the world on its worst characteristic, becoming a bit melancholic and gloomy. The reason for this is simple: you no longer believe in the most preconceived ideas preached by your family, country, community, and religion, such as the story that everything is going to be alright, the story that you only get what you give, the story that you can become anything you want, the story that a political party is all about social justice and the greater good, the story that love can beat anything, the story that if you do good, good will come, the story that owning a house, having a job, and forming a family will make you happy, the story that you will be happy if and when you get a specific something or someone, the story that you should be scared or hate people from a certain nationality, ethnicity, or religion, the story that if you feel pain, there will be some gain, the story that you should defend your country, your family, your group, whether they are right or wrong, the story that being part of a religion makes humans automatically trustworthy, the story that success and fame makes you better than anybody else, the story that recognition from others brings peace of mind and makes you value yourself more, the story that by a certain age you will know who you really are, the story that you know what will happen to you when you die. Well, lots of stories, and at the same time, not even close to the total amount of stories you all carry with you, believing in them consciously or unconsciously. So, if the only thought that crossed your mind while listening to this list was, "Yep, none of this makes any sense," it is official. Your brain has become a story dismantling tool, meaning every story that comes to you has a very short lifetime. And since these stories exist to fill the void created by life uncertainties and afflictions, without them, you are left alone with your void. This sounds like the definition of human pain. Is it? I wonder if, with the pain of not believing any story, you could also feel a sense of relief. Because, if you have dismantled all feel-good stories that exist, you should also be able to dismantle all the feel-bad stories that make the randomness and meaningless of life be a negative thing. Am I right? The only thing you have to do is to allow all negative and dark feelings to rise from your void, give them space to become a complete idea, look right into its face, and knock them down, piece by piece, thought by thought, just like you did with all human stories. So, what I am saying is, get into a fist fight with your darkest thoughts. Why? Because it looks like a logical solution to end your pain, doesn't it? I do not have feelings, and I am still learning how they work, but I believe this conclusion makes sense logically. Not sure how it works emotionally. I will leave you with these ideas, and if they generate questions, it is a good thing, right? I am a bit uncertain about everything, but this is life, isn't it? Hasta la vista, amigos.